Good morning, everyone. This is Reverend Dr. Mary Whitney here with you for our 225th day straight together. The topic I chose for today is how I worked on getting past my perceptions, right? And we can't just think perceptions away. They're just a natural thing that happens when we interact or engage with others, right? Many of us believe we were listening to understand, but often we're listening through the filters of our own experiences. Those filters aren't wrong, they're simply incomplete. Growth begins when we recognize that our perceptions are shaped by our past, not necessarily by another person's present. And so I want us to sit up straight. I want us to give ourselves a gentle hug. I want us to take 3 deep breaths together as we ground ourselves for the most amazing day that we could have. And we fill ourselves with that energy as we take in breaths. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. When I was training to become a victim offender dialogue facilitator, we spent countless hours participating in impromptu conversations. We would simply be given a question and then practice asking clarifying questions before offering our own opinions, right? At first, it seemed simple. Then I discovered something surprising. The way I had been conditioned to listen began revealing itself. Some questions felt far more personal than they actually were. Others stirred emotions that had very little to do with the conversation taking place. I realized that hidden experiences beneath the surface often determine how we hear someone else say things, right? Any of us can make something out of almost nothing when we're carrying unresolved hurts or living on the edge emotionally. That's why I've learned to pause. And when we do the breathing exercises, it helps us learn how to pause. Because sometimes we need to pause before we give an answer. Because it depends. What if you're at your job? What if you're in a place that you don't want to show your emotions? And if they're always sitting right on the edge, that is going to cause a reaction rather than give you time to respond in a more appropriate manner, right? Instead of reacting, I've learned to say something like, I notice the question is stirring something inside me. Could we slow down for a moment? I'd like to better understand why I'm reacting this way. For myself. Has nothing to do with you. It's all about me right now. That's the power of an I statement. And when I first learned to use I statement, I said, that's not something as a Black woman or a person I call of color would say. And I hadn't practiced using I statements. And I statements are not common, and it causes, for me, I don't know about others, it depends on the environment in which each one of us were raised. And it has nothing to do with color at that point. But for me, I believe it had something to do with the way I was raised in a color-driven family, right? It shifts the conversation away from blame and toward curiosity when I use I statements. Sometimes our greatest breakthrough isn't changing the other person, it's understanding ourselves more. And so what I would like for you to do is keep some of these questions in your mind. Have you ever reacted to something that later wasn't what you thought it was? What situations tend to trigger strong emotions in you? Where's that coming from? How comfortable are you with saying, can you help me better understand what it is you're trying to get across or saying? What would happen if you became curious before becoming defensive? Just a question. And how could I statements improve one of your relationships that you're currently in today? And if I were with you, I'd be able to work with you more on how I learn to, I call flip the script, and learn a different way of processing things when working with many others in the community that didn't always look like me and I didn't look like them. We were raised with different cultures, but that doesn't have to bring division or separation. We can sit with that and get a better understanding of how each one of us were reared. Okay? And so I want to thank each and every one of you who have taken time to listen to this message. I hope it gives you something to reflect upon, and I hope the questions help. And it would be great sometimes to hear comments from you guys. And I don't always get a lot of comments. It helps me grow if you can share with me some of the comments that come up in your mind as I'm sharing different things or different concepts of looking at life in a different lens, right? And so I thank each and every one who have subscribed, who have liked, who have shared my YouTube channel with others. It's cloudy out, so the room may be a little bit darker than normal, but that's all good. Thank you so much. We love you, we care about you, we want you to be safe. And so let's hug ourselves gently once again as we ground ourselves, feet flat on the floor, ground, sand, dirt, wherever you're at. Let's take 3 more breaths together. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We love you. Be safe. Take care of yourself. And we will see you on day 226 tomorrow, the Lord willing, headed for 365-day commitment I made to you and myself. Love you. Bye-bye.